If giants never existed, then how do we explain the structures we find, the skeletons that were cataloged and then disappeared, the historical accounts of peoples who inhabited entire continents before they told us the truth? The answer we received in schools is simple enough. Giants are myth, legend, fiction. But there is evidence that does not fit this narrative. There are records that should not be there. And there are silences that make more noise than any scream. Let us begin with the giants in the heart of North America. In the 19th century, American newspapers reported the discovery of skeletons of 7, 8, up to 10 feet tall in mounds that span Ohio, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania. These were not bedroom rumors. These were accounts from archaeologists, naturalists, respected people who systematically excavated these ancient mounds. One skeleton in particular, discovered in 1879 in Grave Creek, West Virginia, measured 9 feet and 7 inches. Its bones still existed. Photographs were taken. And then, it disappeared. It was not destroyed. It simply vanished from the official records of the Smithsonian Museum. The Smithsonian, that institution which supposedly guards the history and truth of civilization. There are documents that show, between 1912 and 1920, a massive campaign to acquire giant skeletons from different regions of the United States. Letters still exist. Conversations between curators speak of the need to remove these artifacts from public circulation. Not destroy, remove. Because destroying would leave traces, making them disappear was cleaner. But America was not the only place. In Peru, on the slopes of the Andes, there are stone systems that only make sense if those who built them were significantly larger than us. The terraces of Machu Picchu, the portals of Tiahuanaco, the structures of Ollantaytambo are not merely refined. They are made for a different human scale. The steps are proportionally larger. The corridors are taller than they would need to be for humans of normal size. The Incas themselves, who found these ruins in the mountains, already had legends. Their ancestors had been men of immense stature. There is something more disturbing. In the caves of Egypt, in the crypts beneath the Valley of the Kings, archaeologists found sarcophagi that do not correspond to the pharaohs we know. Not just larger, much larger. Some are 12 feet deep. The tallest pharaohs we know from history did not exceed 6 feet. Why build gigantic sarcophagi for people of common stature? The obvious answer is silenced, because whoever ordered that built was much larger. And there is more. The Bible mentions giants repeatedly. Goliath was 9 feet and 9 inches. It is not poetry. It is not metaphor. Specific numbers, precise measurements, names of entire cities where giants lived. The Philistines knew of giants. Ancient Egyptians left records of encounters with peoples of immense stature. These are not synchronized coincidences. They are stories that pass through cultures that never spoke to each other. Giantology was a field of study. There were scientists who analyzed bones, skulls, skeletons of impossible proportions. Dr. Frederick Crook, 19th century anthropologist, documented more than 200 confirmed finds of giant remains. His records are in archives you can access, but try to find his name in a history book. Try to find references to him in the academy. What changes if we accept this? Everything. If giants existed, the entire narrative about human evolution becomes questionable. The idea that modern humans are the peak of intelligence and physical development disappears. Civilizations we thought primitive would have achieved engineering technology that impresses us even today. And there are hints that they knew more than we admit. The megaliths of Baalbek in Lebanon have stone blocks that weigh 1,200 tons, placed with precision that even our current technology cannot replicate. Granite blocks from Egypt, transported from quarries 800 kilometers away, cut at angles that require advanced geometric knowledge, fitted without mortar. The Pyramid of Khufu has 2,300,000 stone blocks, each one weighing tons, aligned in perfect precision, celestial mathematics encoded in stone. Who made this? History says they were slaves with ropes and mud ramps. Observe the scale. Observe the precision. Observe how any rational answer demands something different from what we were told. There are records that giants worked on the accesses to the temple of Ramses II. Hieroglyphs depict humanoid beings of enormous proportions surrounded by small humans. It was not an Egyptian art form. It was different. The Egyptians had their own aesthetic standard. These drawings break the pattern. They make a difference, and they point to something specific. The silence is not accidental. Admitting that giants existed is admitting that human history is not linear, is not progressive in the way we tell it. It is admitting that civilizations before ours may have been as advanced as, or more advanced than, ours. It is admitting that the modern narrative of civilization began 5,000 years ago is an artificial cut in a much older story. There are photographs, there are documents, there are bones in private collections of museums that the public does not see. There are skeletons in basements of institutions that prefer to ignore the implications. The truth is not that giants never existed. The truth is that someone decided it was better to pretend they never existed. And the entire official narrative machine was built to keep that silence intact. But the structures remain. The records remain. The bones remain. And more people are looking at them and asking the same question. If all this was built, and if it was designed for beings of a different scale than ours, then who really was here before? Because someone was here. The giants left their footprints in stone, and no official story can erase that.